I'm a tail dragger, I wipe out my tracks. I'm a tail dragger, I wipe out my tracks. When I get what I want, I don't come creeping back. I'm a wolf making a midnight creep. The hunters, they can't find him, stealing chicks everywhere he goes, and dragging his tail behind him. I'm a tail dragger, I'll wipe out my tracks. When I get what I want, I don't come creeping back. A cooler drags his tail in the sand. A fish wiggles the tail in the water. A mighty wolf dragging his tail. He done stole somebody's daughter. I'm a tail dragger, I'll wipe out my tracks. I get what I want, I don't come creeping back. When I get what I want, I don't come creeping back. Good evening, here we are again, and I'm very sorry for being so late. Just when I thought I'd fixed all the technical problems, including knocking the other guitar over, somebody decided they didn't want to sleep. And made quite a big fuss about it. Well, thank you for being here, and thank you very much for your patience. If you've just stumbled across this, this is the weekly blues session with Ralph Beeby and the Elephant Collective. Sans Elephant Collective, where the blues gets weird. Glad you could be here. I know I am an animal. I know I am an animal. I know I am an animal. Your instincts are water well, so bad and hit beating hard. Will you stop my beating heart? Will you stop my beating heart? Maybe these dark foreboding clouds. Come these dark foreboding clouds. Are these dark foreboding clouds? Instincts I know all too well and drive me into these things. Drive me here. here to do these things. Drive me here to do these things. Drive you down to lie with me, for I am an animal. Sink again deep into this wickedness. Deep into this wickedness. Deep into this wickedness. The instincts I know all too well that drive me here to do these things. Drive me here to do these things. Drive me here to do these things. Drive me to commit these sins, for I am an animal. Thank you very much. Good evening, Joan. How you doing, Sue? Love to see you, Steve. I hope you're all very well. Oh, Joan, Sue, very glad you could join us. Steve, this is the garage. Not Norman Bates Cellar, I hasten to add, or anything of a similar operation. I can see the likeness. The way you know it's not Norman Bates Cellar is he didn't have a microwave behind him. Don't believe they'd been invented by the time that was filmed, but I'm prepared to be. No, they had. What am I talking about? They hadn't been invented at that point. What am I talking about? What am I talking about? But you know, the music would probably be not entirely out of place in a film like that. Some of it, anyway. On which note? Time for a song which. Well, actually, no, not Psycho, but it was slightly inspired by something wicked this week. So here we go. A song so soft and low. Can you hear him moaning from way down in the hole? Echoes off the station, sounding out each note. Summoning the drifters on every darkened road. Can you hear the circus, the anger and the fear? are circling, they can smell that he is near. They will always find you, nowhere left to hide. So weigh up your allegiances, 'cause it's time to choose a side. Singing like mosquitoes, chewing up their hives. Sucking blood like leeches off of these forgotten lives. Can you hear the circus, the anger and the fear? Now they're rolling into town, they will call for you by name. Thank you very much. It's Circus from the album in progress. Oh, hello, who's joined us? Where's Lenilton Silver? Very glad you could join us. Good evening to you. How are you doing? And thank you, Sue. Nice to see you. Oh, very glad you could be here again. Oh. We had some rain down here just now, but it's still incredibly warm. Oh. Mixed blessing, obviously, getting far too much humidity. What am I getting the capo for? I don't need the capo for the next one. Speaking of forthcoming album in progress. Oh. Was it just a nightmare in your idle state of mind? A fading after image of a scene you left behind so long ago, so long ago. The forest floor is bristling with strange irrational fears. The cloud hangs heavy with the taste of anger in the air. You feel it grow, you feel it grow. If there's a stone we left unturned, another lesson never learned, too many chances we let go, I guess we'll never know. We'll never know. The golem came into our town disguised as one of us. His puppet masters pulled his strings and tried to gain our trust. And how we laughed, and how we laughed. He spoke to us of dangers that lay hidden in our midst. He made us blame our neighbors till our neighbors swung their fists. He had gained a hold, it gained a hold. If there's a stone we left unturned, another lesson never learned, too many chances we let go, I guess we'll never know. We'll never know. If there's a stone we left unturned, another lesson never learned, too many chances we let go, and ain't that always how it goes? Blindfold pulled over our eyes, the sharpened daggers steal surprise, jackboot kicks us into line, but where they're taking us this time, I guess we'll never know. Oh, thank you very kindly. Another one from that forthcoming album. Hola, Nicky. Great to see you. Glad you could make it tonight. How are you? Oh, cheers, Joan. Oh yeah. Right. It's a shame I didn't get a chance to write out a set list. But like I say, held up by non-technical problems tonight. If it's not the technology, it's something else. Oh, had I been unbeset? Words are failing me again. Had these technical challenges not beset me, I would have written out a set list like I normally do. But there we go. Oh, thank you, Nicky. You're very kind, and glad to hear you're doing decent. Yeah, I thought I'd try a new cover. Oh, thank you. You'll be pleased to hear there's plenty more where that one came from. Oh, right. Any Danzig fans in the house? Blood and tears, blood and tears. Since I've been gone, I hear you've been crying blood and tears. So alone in your misery, so alone. Could you have been deceived? Since I've been gone, I hear you've been crying. I cried 1,000 tears, darling, don't despair. You cried and it bleeds, darling, don't you care? There's blood in your tears. So alone in your misery, so alone. You were lost endlessly. Since I've been gone, I hear you've been crying. You cried 1,000 tears. Darling, don't despair. I know your heart still bleeds. Darling, don't you care? There's blood in your tears. You cried 1,000 tears, darling, don't despair. I know your heart still bleeds, darling, don't you care? You cried 1,000 tears, darling, don't despair. I know your heart still bleeds, darling, don't you care? There's blood in your tears. Blood in your tears. Blood and tears. Blood and tears. Blood and tears. Thank you very much. Cheers, Sue. You're very kind. Thank you, Simon. Good evening to you. How are you doing? Glad you could join us. Yeah, Nicky, I know what you mean. He's a divisive one, is old Glenn. I like him too, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. Yeah, I think he's. I think a lot of the punk crowd love him for what he did with Misfits, but his solo stuff. I know he gets a lot of stick in the metal community for being a bit of a diva, but what the hell? The music's good fun. You know? Yes, he is ridiculous, but particularly those, like the first 3-4 Danzig albums, they are excellent. They are ridiculous, but they are excellent. Oh. Right, what was I going to play after that? Another suitably overblown one of my own. Maybe not quite as overblown as Danzig, but Simon, you're very kind. I have shaved. I do try to shave reasonably regularly, but let's put it down to the lighting. Maybe I've picked the just the right angle with the ceiling light. Oh, right. This is Hear You Crying. More about tears, you know. Joan, yes, I'm sure he will have an opinion. If he knows his rock music, he will have an opinion. Oh yeah, Nicky, I love the Misfits as well. I don't know if I could get away with covering a Misfits song on the acoustic, but Michael Graves did a lot of acoustic stuff when he went solo, didn't he? But then is Michael Graves really the Misfits in the true sense of the word? That's another can of worms. I'm not going to go there. Here to play some music. The road that we wandered would always bring danger. You knew when you took this ride. And each time they closed in, I offered protection. And some things you took in your stride. The darkness that brought in the wind, rain, and thunder, the flood that continues to rise, a voice that cuts through me, wants what I can give, and I see the fear in your eyes. Now I hear you crying, and I know I've let you down, and I feel like dying inside. The eyes that would stare in were closed off and shut out the light. The black doll remembers the scent of your terrors and howls at your window tonight. Oh, I hear you crying, and I know you down, and I feel like dying inside. Hide in the forest, away from their searchlights, and we'll see the sunrise again. Oh, I'll hear you laughing, and I'll know there's still a hope, and we'll know that we can survive. Sorry kindly. Black feathers glisten in the sun. The time to feel again has come. Spotted tyrant upon high, carving circles in the sky around the figures down below. Out of the feathers as you go, leave the rest for Mama Crow. Too dry to sink into the mud, no rain to wash away the blood. Body torn up in the heat by rain claws and jagged beak. It's a flavor they know. Out of the feathers as you go, will be ignored by Mama Crow. your wounds don't ever heal. You may become another meal. All your answers may be found lying prostrate on the ground as you join nature's flow. I will take you when you go. Dodged by my crow. Cheers, Nicky. Cheers, Sue. Thank you both very much indeed. Oh, it's funny you mentioned the gypsy feel, Nicky, because this is quite an old one, and I was playing bass in a gypsy jazz band, probably concurrently with writing that one. So I don't know whether there was a subconscious influence there. I thought it was more influenced by Santana, but and feeling quite morbid, which is not a combination one puts together normally, but who knows? But yes, I wonder whether that contributed to the feel I was trying to impart in something. Right. Oh yes, thank you very much. I've just noticed that I've got little marbles popping up at the top of the screen on my monitor, so I think, unless I'm much mistaken, we have Das online. Good evening, Das. Good to see you. I think I can also see Simon and Nicky and Sue. Ah, good to see you all. Ah, your first exposure to the Elephant Collective. Ah, well, you could start on a worse song if I do say so myself. I'm glad I didn't put you off. It's probably driven plenty of other people away, but not brave souls such as yourselves. Oh, right. How to introduce this one? It's called Your Own Way Home. It's very danceable despite the bleak lyrics. Not that I'll be able to see you dancing from where you are. Entirely up to you, therefore. So the time bell rings and we stagger to our feet. Time to get up and move on, boys. Time to find another street. You've just got to fight on. I think of the cost. Where there's a will, there's a way. Where there's a way, you'll get lost. And if the path arcs up ahead, would you declare it dead and find your own way home? Must it come to an end? Must we find different friends? Find our own way home? So time was ever wrong. it doesn't help to look back. It don't matter how you shuffle your cards, you still find jokers in the pack. Just come in for one more drink, we'll talk it over and then you can wander home and fall into bed before it starts to hurt again. And if the path forks up ahead, would you declare it dead and find your own way home? Must it come to an end? Must we find different friends, find our own way home? And if the path forks up ahead, would you declare it dead and find your own way home? Must it come to an end? Must we find different friends, find our own way home? Thank you all very much. Stay. Right. Well, thank you for once again for joining me for this somewhat delayed session. And hopefully next time. Well, Joan, that's a new one to me. I've seen audiences doing the Highland fling to that one, or a very, very crude Highland fling, I have to say. But who am I to judge? I can't do it myself. But the Chen Man Ching form, that's definitely a new one to me. Thank you, Simon. Thank you, Nikki. Very glad you could all be here for this. Very glad you could join me. And, well, I aim to be back next week. Yeah. Hopefully technology will prevail. Children will sleep when they're supposed to, and I won't melt again in the heat or anything like that. So I shall leave you with one I've not played for a little while, actually. This is off the end of the very first EP. This is When I Have the Blues. Blues, when I'm down on my luck, maybe won't you come to me, try to pick me up. Sometimes I worry, sometimes I need to grieve. Baby, don't just cry, beg me not to leave. When I have the blues, when I have the blues, I know life ain't perfect, I know life isn't fair, but baby, sometimes, yeah, you don't seem to care. Lead me by my hand through the darkness and gloom. Don't leave me to sit here alone in my room. When I have the blues, when I have the blues. perfect. I know life isn't fair, but baby, sometimes you don't seem to care. Lead me by my hand through this darkness and gloom. Don't leave me to sit here alone in my room. When I have the blues, 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 when I have the blues. Oh, my pleasure, Joan. Thank you. Oh, cheers, Nicky. Yeah, we'll go with the campfire vibe rather than the Norman Bates' cellar vibe, perhaps. Hopefully nothing will catch fire, though. And, oh, yeah, fingers crossed one day I'll be able to do the States. Oh, got to dream big, eh? But yes, that's all from me tonight, so thank you. Oh, hello. Oh, Sue, very poetic. You're very kind. Very kind indeed. Glad you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you all for watching. It has been lovely. Yeah, same time next week then. Until then, hope you all have a lovely week and a very good night to you. Cheers and good night.